Things are starting to spice up for Switch releases in 2024, and while we know a handful of cool first-party games like the Peach game, Luigi's Mansion Redux, and Mario vs. Donkey Kong getting remade, we've got intel and rumors on the next Pokemon game, which should get you all real excited. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. This rumor comes in hot off the presses as Pokemon Day is starting to be teased for 2024. The Pokemon Company announced that in celebration of Pokemon Day 2024, which should be around February 27th, fans will be able to embark on an all-new Pokemon animated adventure when Pokemon Horizons, the series, premieres in more markets early next year. Now that's about the TV show. I've heard it got good reviews, but that's not what we're focusing on here. In light of this little blurb, Centro Leaks tweeted, while it was 100% expected, the Pokemon Company has confirmed that celebrations for Pokemon Day 2024 are coming. A new main series Pokemon game is expected to be announced that day. That is the rumor part, right? That is coming from Centro Leaks, that they've heard that a new mainline game is being announced on Pokemon Day. And Pokemon Day typically is after the Nintendo Direct of February, so we save like the Pokemon announcements, instead of at the Nintendo Direct, they come on Pokemon Day. But there's more details and information here as Centro Leaks replied to a few people asking questions. And the question I have to ask is, what qualifies as a mainline Pokemon game nowadays, right? Is it just Gen 8, Gen 9, Gen 10? Well, no. In fact, Centro Leaks specifically says it's not going to be Gen 10, and I would have definitely not expected that. I would have been shocked. I would not have bought it or believed this rumor or even made a video. If they thought it was Gen 10, no way. Gen 9 was released a while back, but the DLC is still to come. There's no way they jump into Gen 10 next year, and they'll absolutely wait for the next Nintendo Switch platform to drop their next mainline game. But I guess there's other mainline games because we do have the Pokemon Legends series. We do have the Pokemon Remake series, as we saw with Diamond and Pearl. And we have the long forgotten, but I think still better than people give it credit for, the Pokemon Let's Go series. Now, I think the biggest expectation is for a black and white remake. The Unova region coming back onto Switch, that's something that people have discussed for a long time, and it's probably like the most rumored Pokemon game outside of like, Gen 8, Gen 9, Gen 10. And Diamond and Pearl were now years back, so it's time for a new remake. They could bring that back. I think that's the most likely game that this could be, but it also could be a new Let's Go game. Let's Go Johto is nowhere to be seen, and I think that would be ultra cute and ultra fun, and in some ways, I know I love the open world of Scarlet and Violet. Like, that is to me, the best realization of Pokemon. But in some ways, the art style of Let's Go is like the most tried and true. There's something just perfectly charming, pure, and sacred about that look of those games, and they held a special place in my heart as they reduxed Pokemon Red and Blue from when I was a wee young lad. Now, Legends did great with Arceus. That was a fantastic foray into something different for Pokemon, but I do wonder how they expand upon that now that Scarlet and Violet are out. Pokemon Legends Arceus did interesting things and still maintained a different catching mechanic, but its more open world feel was unique because it had not been done. Now that Scarlet and Violet is even more open world than Legends, how do you upgrade Legends? But I bet Legends will be back. It sold insanely well, so they'd be silly not to. One of these three games is what Centro Leaks is teasing coming in early 2024, but it gets better than that because Centro Leaks says that this will be on both the Switch and the Switch successor. They were asked if the game hardware at the time of the new release will be Switch or the successor, and they said both, that the Switch 2 is going to be out in 2024, and that this game is going to come out on both of them. Now that makes a ton of sense because Pokemon is just the big seller, so you want that to be spread as far as possible. But if this game is to be announced in February, I would expect it to launch in November. That's when Pokemon games traditionally launch, and that's when Nintendo sees they have the most success. A Switch 2 should surely be out by November, and getting a Pokemon game that can release on both Switch 1 and Switch 2 in November 2024 will be huge. You can buy that Pokemon game and play it on your already existing console, or you can buy that game on your new console, or you can upgrade to a new console to play Pokemon. We still have to wait and see how these cartridges work out. Is there going to be a cross-gen nature where like the same cart plays on Switch 1 and Switch 2? Is it two totally separate cartridges? Will they have some sort of upgrade plan like we've seen put in place for PlayStation and Xbox, where you buy the Switch 1 version and then pay $10 and you can upgrade to the Switch 2 version? How is that all going to be handled? I feel like Nintendo is probably nervous about that. They don't typically handle this element of the gaming business too well, and I'm curious to see what their solution is for something that has definitely stymied both PlayStation and Xbox. Those two consoles have seen up and down, success, failure, disappointment, happiness with how they handle upgrading from cross-gen games. And they've made some improvements, like, okay, The Last of Us 2 is getting remastered. You can buy that whole game, or pay $10 if you already have Last of Us 2, and then you can get the new content and the remastered version. Will Nintendo be smart about it? How will they handle all of this? Will there be an upgrade fee? Will there not? I don't know. But what I do know is Pokemon coming out year one of the system is huge for the early push of Switch 2. We know that Nintendo is hyper-focused on making a great transition and launching Switch 2 into the stratosphere so that it does not have the same fate that the Wii U did after the success of the Wii. Obviously, very different scenarios. Nintendo's learned a lot. I don't think it'll be the case. But a Pokemon game was not present in the first year of Nintendo Switch. It took them a bit to get Let's Go out, and it took them a long time to get Sword and Shield out. And then eventually we reached sort of a Pokemon critical mass with Snap and Legends Arceus and Scarlet Violet and DLC and all that. But I think Nintendo wants to get going earlier on Switch 2. It makes sense because the Pokemon games sell insanely well, 20+ million copies for a mainline game. Even Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which I don't think were the highest quality Pokemon games and were factually made by a B team. Those still sold double-digit millions and pushed a lot of units and helped prop up a Switch holiday season that wasn't otherwise all that strong. Now, I do think next holiday will be insanely strong for Nintendo, especially on the heels of a brand new console, but a Pokemon game just provides a really nice boost. Now, if you ask me, I would want it to be... Honestly, I'd want it to be Legends. Legends 2 would be my pick. I think that's the franchise or the side franchise that has the biggest chance to go places. Let's Go is going to be a throwback with great cute art and maybe some fun little updates. Unova Remake is going to be nice and nostalgic, but I'm guessing they would use their chibi art style like they did for Pearl and Diamond, and I did not really like that. They got to keep the series differentiated somehow, so I don't think it would just be like a really nice looking black and white. I don't know. Could be wrong there. But Legends has a chance to push the franchise forward, and it's something Scarlet and Violet tried to do with horrible performance, but I think great ideas and mechanics. The open world of Pokemon made it feel the best it's ever felt, and it was my favorite Pokemon game I've played. Plus, that final Area Zero is incredible, and their ideas that they had with the Paradox Pokemon and with the storyline in the final battle were brilliant. Now, Legends Arceus, again, was sort of the precursor, and I think they would have to open things up and seamlessly integrate the areas in a better fashion. But it's important to me that Pokemon goes forward. I think whatever they decide to drop first for Switch 2 should be an evolutionary experience. Get people excited that Switch 2 has a new Pokemon game. But if I had to bet, I would bet that it's Pokemon Black and White remade. I think Nintendo knows that Unova region has a lot of nostalgia, and the tried and true Pokemon will sell, will work, and will appeal huge to a nostalgic audience and as well as any new kids on the block. So it's probably going to be Black and White announced on Pokemon Day and released next fall, but it could be Let's Go. It could be Legends. Pokemon Company has surprised, disappointed, and delighted us in the past, so anything kind of goes with them. I'll keep my eyes on this rumor and see if there's more to it in the future, but Central must know something given that they are very, very detailed in, like, it's not Gen 10, it's on both consoles, it's getting announced on Pokemon Day, like, they feel pretty good about it, so I feel pretty good about it. I like their record in the past. Let me know what you think about this and which Pokemon game you'd want to see most of the mainline sort of alt mainline games, not Gen 10 obviously, but the others. Which would you be excited for in 2024? Let me know in the comments down below. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there, people. Love you lots. Switch Force out.